That's right. Hello and good day. It's 4 o'clock Saturday afternoon, which means it's once again time for Open Mic Radio. Let's get it rolling with one from our featured guest this afternoon. This is OK Samaritan.
But the drapes to share, frozen food upon my plate. When she swept into the room, all the servants sat at her feet, making love with her perfume. And bugs to mash and mouth, roaches making me insane. And what a dirty thought to think, while I looked her up and down, poured myself another drink. And hazards in the night, staring deadly at the ground. All the trash along the road, gathered wasted at the fence, and all the pleasure I was owed. And
Yes, sir. All right. That's the way we're going to get it going today. Welcome to the program. It's Open Mic Radio, Saturday, November 20th. Nice late fall afternoon, mid-Missouri weekend. A little chilly, but not too rough. Sun shining. I hope you're enjoying it out there. Always a lot to do on Columbia on the weekend. Lots of music and fun happening in and around town. So hope you're getting into some of it out there. All right. Okay. It is Open Mic Radio. We do it every Saturday afternoon from 4 o'clock until 6 o'clock. Live music sometimes, and interviews with many of Missouri's finest musicians and bands. My name is Mike Hagan. I'm joined once again by the wonderful, kind Kurt. What's up, my brother?
Hello. How are you doing today?
Kurt giving us a little intro music there, and always adding some wit during the program here. And yeah, we feature awesome local and regional music, and we do it every weekend. Artists who create it as well, they come in here and talk with us. So this is sort of my call to action as well. In order for me to do that, I need to know who the artists are and the musicians. So get a hold of me. Find a way. Very easy, actually, kopn.org. Go to the website. You can click on the Open Mic Radio button. It's easy to send a message to me right from the website. You can also go to my website, which is mikehagan.com, and there's a bunch of fun stuff there. And you can also subscribe to the podcast even, perhaps. That way you don't have to hear the program live. You can catch it in your podcast inbox like magic every Saturday or Sunday afternoon. Okay. Anyway, I love to hear the new music, and that's how we share it with other people. So
help us promote you.
Please, absolutely. And if you're an up-and-coming musician or someone who's been around for a long time and just want to share your stuff, please get in touch with me, and we'll find a way to get you on the program here and share your stuff with other people, okay? All right, great to be here this afternoon. Hope things are going well for you. I will say a big thank you to the people that were doing I'm Open Mic Radio. That's one mic before this program. I get confused with my own scheduling here. But anyway, one mic from 2 to 4 every Saturday afternoon. Before that, noon until 2, the wonderful Morgan Matsiga with Motherland Jam, incredible music from across the continent of Africa. And stick around after this program, 6 o'clock until 8. We've got Rashumba and a reggae party coming at you from 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock. The best in roots, rock, and reggae right here in mid-Missouri. And
Come on.
I mean it.
I'm open for some Peter Tosh today.
Yeah, he'll play some Peter Tosh. I always want to hear Toots and the Maytals. They're my favorites. And he usually doesn't disappoint. Anyway, great stuff from Rashumba. One more time later this evening, 8 o'clock until 11, Blues on Broadway with Chris. Fantastic music from here on out. So keep it dialed in here to KOPN, and hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon. Okay, for this afternoon show, we have got the gentleman from OK Samaritan with us, and that is Jaeson, Kyle, Devin, and Noel, and they're with us here in the studio this afternoon. We're going to play some music and chat with the guys, find out a little bit about the band and what they're up to around these parts. We started the show actually with a song from OK Samaritan that's called Wheel. So I'm going to start off with that. I'm going to say hello, gentlemen. Thank you for being here, first of all.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Right on. Great to have you here. And I've been hearing a lot about OK Samaritan actually over the last 3-4 months or whatever. I don't know what you guys were doing over the COVID break, but you must have been working hard or something, because there's quite a bit of buzz about your band out there right now, whether you know that or not. But anyway, we'll start with Jaeson. Tell me a little bit about the song Wheel that we just heard.
Oh, we picked that one to roll with first because that's one of the first ones we wrote. We got together about 3 years ago now, just about to the day.
So the band has been together for about 3 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And we wrote that song and another one that we'll probably play here in a little while. And we just hit it off real good together, and we've been just playing music and really enjoying it ever since.
What's your background musically? Are you professionally trained, or are you a self-learner, or tell me a little bit about your music background? I'm not even sure which instrument or instruments you play.
Oh, sure. All right. Well, I play rhythm guitar and sing lead vocal. And,
all right.
We write the songs together. We write as a band.
Mm-hmm.
And my background is mostly self-taught. I have had a few, guitar lessons here and there. I started on saxophone and band. I was a big band nerd, and started playing guitar later on, high school, college. Just kind of built from there. Started open mics, and then when I moved to Columbia in 2009, that's when I really started to get serious with. I've been playing with Kyle and Devin here for over 10 years now.
Where are you from originally?
Originally Michigan, but moved all over and ended up in St. Louis.
Okay.
And so I've been in Missouri since 2001, so I kind of consider this home
So
now.
were you playing under a different moniker back then, or
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we were.
what was the name of your first
Excuse me.
outfit, if you don't mind me asking?
The very first was this outfit called A Perfect Fifth, and that was with our good friend Matt Olson, who is he lived in town till recently. He moved back to St. Louis, where he's from.
Yeah.
But so we did that for a long time. Kyle played bass with us kind of on and off, and then when I moved to Columbia, Kyle and Matt, they were both here, and that's where we met up with Devin, and we had a drummer, a guy named Zach Dennison at the time, and we formed a band called We Live in Public, and we played around Columbia for 3 or 4 years under that moniker.
All right.
Okay.
And
Cool.
then took a hiatus, and now we three of us stayed together, and we picked up Noel, who's just been an awesome fit for us, and like I said, we've been playing as OK Samaritan now.
And Noel, you're playing drums?
Yeah, drums.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're a drummer, but I didn't know if Devin was too. Maybe I wasn't sure who else or what the actual makeup of the band is with regard to who's playing what. So, Kyle, you're on bass apparently.
Yes, sir. That's correct.
Okay, and then and Devin, you play guitar as well.
Yeah. I'm the lead guitarist. Yeah.
So 2 guitars, bass, and drums. This is the whole band here. We're not missing anybody.
No.
Okay.
Just standard, straightforward
rock setup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
all right.
turntablist is out back right now.
Okay.
What are some of you guys' influences? Like,
Well, let's stay with Jaeson. You're your own. Let's stick with you, and then we're going to move down the line. We'll talk to Kyle about some of his stuff
have a
too.
unique sound.
Well, thank you. I don't know. For this band, one of the bands I usually sort of aspire towards. There's a few bands. Spoon is one of them.
I like Spoon a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Queens of the Stone Age is one of them. Those are kind of like the 2 big ones when I think of what I kind of wanted. When we started this band, I was like, I want to aim for somewhere between there.
Something like that. Yeah,
you know,
the similarities. Yeah.
Of course, there's other influences too, but
Right. All right, Kyle. What about you? Where are you from originally?
Everywhere Jaeson is.
Really? So you guys
Yeah.
have pretty much been following each other around.
he's my brother.
Yeah.
Is that right? Literally. All right. Okay.
Mom shot.
You're the older brother?
No.
No, you're the older brother.
It's
Pretty close, though, right? Within a couple years of each
a
other?
couple of years. Yeah.
All right. Okay, cool. So you learned music to, I guess, together, kind of, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to be as cool as my older brother, in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
He picked up guitar, and I was like, well, that looks nice. I guess I'm gonna have to do that too.
All right.
As he slides $5 into his pocket.
Right. All right. So that's kind of cool.
That's
So
a
you
good
got
brother for you.
part of the rhythm section. Well, I mean, you're playing rhythm guitar. Do you separate the guitars? Like you play all the solos and. Or do you kind of mix it up a little bit?
Pretty much. He's all the solo and the brighter sort of, stuff that you hear more at the top of the mix.
Were either of you guys, were you in band as well? Did you take lessons? Did you learn how to play other instruments? Or when did you start playing bass?
I started playing bass shortly after high school because, as Jaeson mentioned, he was playing with Matt, and they had a perfect fifth going on, and they kept talking about wanting a bass player, and I kind of got tired of hearing them, so I just said, go find a bass player, and Jaeson looked at me and said, go buy a bass.
There you go.
So that's how I started playing, and it's been there, ever since. Same way, self-taught, and just I've had the wonderful opportunity of playing with some pretty amazing musicians in Columbia and in mid-Missouri, and that's it's just been a lot of fun so far.
Very cool. All right, Devin, how about you? So, local guy, or are you from around here, or are you from elsewhere?
No, I'm from Southwest Missouri, basically a tiny little town called Brownington.
100
people were in it then, probably way fewer now.
And how'd you get here to Columbia?
I came to school here.
At Mizzou?
Yeah.
All right.
Stuck around.
So now tell me again how you hooked up with Jaeson and Kyle.
We had a mutual friend, but we also happened to be renting this in the same apartment complex, or townhouse complex, and we just, randomly got together on the advice of our mutual friend. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah, a lot of it
honestly.
was, so our old drummer, Zach Dennison, I went to high school with him, weirdly enough.
That's a familiar name to me for some reason. Was he here in Columbia? He was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's kind of split between Columbia and Nashville now, but he's a pretty tall guy with curly hair.
Okay.
He's a really good drummer and a cool guy, and we knew each other in high school, and then he and Devin I lost touch with him for many years, but him and Devin became friends in school together, and they were roommates. Mm-hmm. And then so when me and Matt needed a drummer and somebody to play bass, because at that time Kyle was off doing other things, that's when we hooked up with Devin and Zach, and we got that.
All right.
I guess I forgot that it was Zach that was the mutual friend.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember my own story.
All right. So, what about you as far as musical training, etc.? Do you have music in the family, or were you trained as a kid, or did you just pick up a guitar and start playing by ear? Or?
Yeah, my maternal grandfather, he played guitar. He didn't really play while I was alive. He'd already kind of gotten too old, but he did play guitar, and so that kind of encouraged that when I was around 7th or 8th grade. Uh-huh. I was in band and played trumpet for a couple of years, but I didn't really stick with it very long. And then I just kind of always wanted to play guitar. Yeah.
All right. What about influences?
I really have trouble with that question because I'm very I will love something one moment and be all in for it for a couple of years, and then a few years later, I can't even listen to it anymore. So it's really hard for me to pin down what I feel comfortable as labeling myself. It sounds really douche.
No. Really, yeah, I get it. I get it.
Say that, but.
No, that's all right. We can get away with that one.
Okay.
Yeah, the big 350,000 hanging over our heads. Yeah, no, we're all good.
For a cleaning process.
All right, and so how long have the three of you actually been together before you got Noel in on the gig?
12 years? 10 years?
10, 11 years.
Okay.
11 years, yeah.
All right, and so now, last but not least, Noel Feldman, who I'm familiar with from the Ridge Runners and, of course, the Royal Furs, and I'm not sure what other projects you've been involved in along the way, but about 3 years ago, you hooked up with these guys.
Yeah, and to have that built-in chemistry that they already had was a big treat for me, just as a drummer plugging into what they already had going, and writing some new songs with them. It's really been a lot of fun to play with them.
All right, what about your background? You're from around here, I think, aren't you?
I came out here for college in 2005.
From where originally?
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Yeah,
okay.
so I came out here to do the J school, like most out-of-staters, and stayed here for a few years after graduation, moved away, came back, and got involved.
It's amazing how many people do that. People come here and then they leave and then they come.
There's a
back.
certain magnetism to this town.
There really is something about it. I'm surprised that I stayed. I'm Chicago originally and then lived in Denver for a long time. And when I moved here 20 years ago, I thought, gosh, I'm probably not going to be there that long. And this is my home. I love Columbia and the mid-Missouri area here. So anyway, right on. Okay, well, what are
we going to hear next? That's what we want to know.
Okay, we'll play another song. What do you guys we got a few of them here on our playlist. We started with Wheel, which was the first one that you guys composed. So maybe you want to go chronologically. I think you were talking about maybe. If not, I don't care. We play whatever you want. So
yeah, let's go with Enterprise next. That was the second song that we ever wrote.
I think it's actually the first, but
and not the one off of Spotify.
No, I got the
radio-friendly version.
one. Yeah. Okay, so it is Saturday afternoon, 20th of November. Hope you're all enjoying it out there. The phone lines are open, by the way. Give us a call and say hi if you've got a question for the band, or if you want to say hi to me or Kurt, or tell us if you've got something going on this afternoon or this evening. We'll probably go through some of the local venues here in a little while and talk about some of the stuff that's happening tonight and next few days going into next week. And you guys we'll talk about some of your upcoming shows, whatever you guys have going on. But anyway.
This is OK Samaritan.
OK Samaritan here with you. Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. And we'll be back in just a few minutes.
This is a for-profit enterprise, so buy a mother t-shirt, pick a color, try it on for size, get your mother money's worth. Put up your hands down on the ground, give me some flesh, I'll have 1 pound. I felt the needle in the darkness, heard a hammer on the ceiling. Here's another sticky handshake. I'm here to do the dirty dealing. Put up your hands down on the ground. Give me some flesh, I'll have 1 pound. American made, world renowned. Nobody leaves till you throw down. Cooking hotter than a burn ward. Got acquainted with the blood stain. Wide awake up on the hardcore. Put up your hands down on the ground. Give me some flesh, I'll have 1 pound. American made, world renowned. Nobody leaves till you throw down. American made,
What the hell did I just do, you guys? That's the professionalism here at Community Radio on KOPN. I'll just thank my producer for that.
Work in progress.
All right, okay, so we're back at you. It's Open Mic Radio, KOPN. We've got the gentleman from OK Samaritan with us in the studio this afternoon. That was a song called Enterprise, which, okay, so that was probably, again, something that was recorded or written toward the early part of your getting together?
Yes, sir, yeah.
Let's talk about songwriting then. Somebody mentioned earlier that you kind of collaborate right together, but is there, I mean, do you do it literally as a group, say, let's write a song, or does somebody come in and say, hey, I had a little thing last night that I was thinking of, you guys want to work, or is it a combination of
both? Yeah, a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Some songs have been completely organic, out of thin air, in the moment, in my basement, and then other ones are coming in as little snippets, maybe a verse and a chorus have been pre-written. Usually it's Devin coming in with something already sort of half-baked, and then we stick it in the oven and bring it to full bake.
All right. Practice space at your house?
Down in my basement, yeah.
Okay. What kind of a setup do you have down there?
It's a good setup. There's some soundproofing. We got some amps that just sort of sit there all the time. They don't really have to bring much if they don't want to.
'Cause you're a family man, aren't you?
I've got a wife, yeah, and a couple cats.
I thought you had a son or a daughter a couple years ago. I guess.
No kids.
Okay.
No.
All right, good. Anyway, all right. So practice in the basement, and do you guys have the ability to record down there as well, or how do you do recording when you do record?
Will Reeves over at Central Cellar. I know you're familiar with the man.
He also helped. He's one that helped soundproof his or acoustically treat his basement too.
That's right. Yeah. One of the first things I did after moving into my house was call up Will to get some advice on how to soundproof my basement.
Couldn't ask for much better.
We talked for about 45 minutes, and then he said, I can actually do this for you if you wanted. And I said, well, that sounds a lot easier than what you're describing. So, that was a project he took on and helped me out with, and very grateful for it. It's a great space.
Oh yeah, yeah, he's fantastic, and a lot of men and women around here are familiar with Will and use his studios and his expertise. He's great. He's got a great ear, and he's really good with his equipment, and he gets right down to business too. He doesn't waste a lot of time. So.
That's right. So yeah, everything you're hearing was recorded in his studio. We had a great time over there. We spent a lot of time just tinkering with these songs. We recorded the main tracks, and then spent a lot of hours just sitting there listening to them, moving the knobs around. Devin brought a keyboard in and did a lot of synth work.
And then we cut half of it.
That's okay. You don't really you don't learn unless you try, right? So there was we added a lot, and then we took away a lot, and then we ended up publishing them as you hear them today.
It's interesting. So when you record, you can record all these different potential tracks or additions to the final product, and then it's a matter of really your own and the production or whoever's producing what you think is the best out of all that stuff.
It's more about where you are going to put the arbitrary, force myself to stop making changes on this, because that's really what it comes down to. You have to at some point just say
it's done.
It's done. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a challenge for artists in general. If you're a painter, it's very difficult to put the brush down and sign the thing and say, okay, I signed it, it's done. I know lots of visual artists that just have a hard time finishing it. So I get it. I think that's a challenge for art in general, or artists in general. So.
Agreed.
On a similar note, I think we were trying to toe the line of what can we recreate live versus if we put way too much on this recorded version, would the live version just never
can't hold a candle?
There was a lot of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So while a lot of those synth sounds were really cool, and we kept we did keep a decent amount of synth on this record that we don't recreate live. There was a moment where it's just is the whole song hinging on this synth part, and when we play live, it's just not gonna be there, and would that be a problem? And so we asked ourselves that question.
I think as someone who's in the audience often enough, you want to hear it at least be reasonably close to the studio version. At least a lot of people are like that.
Yeah.
You can have fun with it and do it live, but I think people are looking for that fundamental sound out of the studio for sure. So.
Agreed.
All right, so I've got 8 or 9 songs here. Was that an album, or are these a compilation of things from a number of different recordings over different times?
Singles.
Just a bunch of singles?
Yeah,
Haven't you heard albums are dead now?
Well, that be the reason why you feel like you've been hearing about us so much is because we recorded all these songs pretty much at the same time, but we released them one at a time every 2 or 3 months.
There you
So,
go.
it's sort of like a trick, like a little sleight of hand, I guess you could say, is, to make it seem like we're being really active just by trickling these songs out over time. But they're all like, at this point, we still haven't released one of them, and it was recorded probably 2.5 years ago at this point.
All right, well then let's talk about what you've got going these days. Are you how prolific of writers are you? Do you write a lot, or do you have a lot of stuff in the works right now, or is it hard, slow coming?
I think it's fair to say we have a lot in the works. We got a lot of stuff that's half baked, as to stick with the original metaphor, and that's where we've been spending a lot of our time lately. Is just working on new ideas, and we had kind of a spat there a month and a half. Most of September and October we played several gigs, and so we were real focused on that. Lots of rehearsal and making sure we knew our covers and stuff for that kind of thing. But now we're sort of back to writing mode, and we're thinking we'll probably stay there through the winter months and just kind of focus on that. Maybe schedule some time back in the studio and with Will, and just see about what's next. We'd like to get some new stuff down before too long.
Very cool. All right, should we play another one?
I think so.
All right.
I'd love to hear some more music.
Let's see if I can do this one right. We have, a whole bunch of them here. What do you think? Another Room, Colorful in Black. That's a more recent one, I think. Colorful in Black,
Sure.
is it not?
Yeah, we can
Let's do that one. Yeah.
You want to do that one?
That one's got some synth on it, too. You guys can tell us whether or not there's too much synth.
All right. This is, once again, OK Samaritan from... how this one was released only recently.
A few months ago.
Yeah, a few
couple
months ago. Called Colorful in Black. You're listening to it on Open Mic Radio, KOP in Columbia. Hey, the phone number's here, 573-443-8255 and 573-443-7380. If you want to call and become a part of the program, you can give us a buzz.
Or tell your friends and family about it, because they can call in too.
Right. Yeah, from anywhere, as long as I got a phone. Most people have them these days, right? Okay, I digress. All right, this is
Cellular
Colorful in Black,
device.
Open Mic Radio, KOPN.
Came out stale, it came out flat, it
Right on. All right. There's another one from our friends OK Samaritan. That one is called Colorful and Black, reasonably recently released. And so I will ask you guys to tell us a little bit about that song and what it's about.
Oh, what's it about?
That was a Devin song, right? It started with a Devin half bakery.
I think I wrote that before we were together, and I actually recorded it on my phone through GarageBand with just like the soft synths that are on GarageBand on my phone.
Right.
And then I think I only had like an A and a B, and then I didn't know where to take it from there, and so it sat for a year and a half or so, and then we picked it back up with this, and we took the last little kind of jazzy ending. We kind of just tagged
Really
that
cool.
onto it. So
Very nice.
Yeah, it's got a really good,
Very nice. Yep.
real nice feel
Yep.
to that song. So, okay.
It's a song about the ennui of aging.
God,
into your
tell me about
30s.
it.
yeah, I guess it is what it's about.
Well said. All right.
I just want to know, like, where and when I can see you guys live.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about.
We don't have anything on the calendar right now. I'm sorry to disappoint.
Well,
Yeah.
I have a potential gig for you.
Okay.
And I'm being serious about this. And I was just speaking about it earlier today with Margot McMillan, who's one of the wonderful programmers of Farm and Fiddle here at KOPN, but also she's on the board of directors, I think. But anyway, Margot was talking with me about the new KOPN building that I was chatting with you guys about. And on January 1st is a Saturday. So we're thinking of doing a live remote from the new station if we can put the room together. If it's, do not quote me on this, but just potentially we might be able to do something like this. And then do kind of like the whole afternoon, like from noon until 6, live remote, and have a bunch of live music, maybe have a couple different bands. And you guys, I would invite you right now if we can pull it off.
That sounds great.
I would love it if you guys could be a part of it. And we're going to start the new year off at the new KOPN and introduce people to the new space over there, maybe. So
That's a very
So if we
kind
can
and
pull
generous
that
offer.
off.
Yeah.
okay, if we can pull it off, we're going to do it, because the January Lanterns is a small band, talented guy-girl duo, Kristen and Andrew. I forget their last name, but anyway, they're scheduled to be on the show that day on the 1st of January. But I'm sure they'd be glad to go over there as well, and we could maybe get a third band or something and put together a cool little afternoon festival or something.
So after the move, does that mean like?
Well, we won't be moved yet. That we'll still be here, but we will have access to the space. It will be our space over there, so we could just set up and have a little party, basically.
I thought maybe like from then on, all the broadcasts would be considered live remotes.
No, I think we'll have to come back here and keep broadcasting out here until we get that place kind of up to snuff, Mister.
When does it become home?
I think it'd be a year probably.
Oh my gosh, really?
Man, there's a lot to do. That's a huge deal. I mean, just think of technically. I mean, it just boggles my mind at how we're going to relocate the radio station and stay on the air.
Can we
Yeah.
do like simultaneous, like dual remotes from each location?
I don't know. Now you're
Let's try.
Now you're really asking me the hard questions. So we're gonna leave that to the engineers. But anyway, okay. Perhaps we'll do that. I'll talk to you
sounds
guys
like fun.
off the air about it if we can pull it off. All right.
I'm
Okay.
always live and
Thank you.
remote.
Okay. We'll have Kurt there. You can do it as well. Okay. Where'd the name come from? OK Samaritan. We laughed so hard. I was out yesterday afternoon. I was sitting down at Booch's, having a beer after work with a friend of mine whose name is Clark Layshock, who's a great drummer and also a very interesting guitar player who's going to be on the program actually next week. And we were talking about just some stuff, and he asked me who's going to be on the program today. I said, OK Samaritan, and he just laughed. He said, that is so clever. And then I guess I had never really thought about it, and I'm thinking it's a play on Good Samaritan. I'm not really.
Yeah.
I'm an OK Samaritan.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Anyway, brilliant. How did that come about?
That was a couple of things funny about that is that we took forever to decide on a band name. We played together.
Hey, it's an
for
important thing.
over a year, I think, before we finally
We
settled
played
on it.
multiple shows without a name.
Yeah. And
Horse without a name.
and then we finally settled on that one. And the idea for that came from I used to work with a guy, and he played back then it was like Halo 3, I think. So we're talking 12 years ago. We're talking like 2009, 10 time. We'd get on Xbox and play, and his gamer tag was the OK Samaritan, and I just thought that was the funniest thing, kind of like your friend.
It is funny.
It just really killed me, and so that's rattled around in the back of my mind, and I actually forgot where I got the idea until we ran into that guy again recently, and he was like, the connection got remade. But anyway, that's where we got it from. It's not original, but it's still great.
Very, very good. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. All right. Where are we at? We're 4:30. I'm gonna play another song, and you got plenty more to.
I like when you play the music, Mike.
You like it?
I did.
A lot of people do. They say that's a good part of the show.
This is awesome.
If it was just me and you talking, we wouldn't have many people listening. Trust me. All right. What do we got?
How about doot 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 doot?
Doot doot. All right. Looks like this one. All right. Before we play it, give me a little background.
Well, it's all in the name.
All right, here it is. OK Samaritan on Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. This is Doot Doot.
And if I
right. Do. That's what we call that one. OK Samaritan with doot. All right. But more to that song than just doot. Lyrically, what's it about?
Yeah, the verses are kind of, in short, sort of about how dark it can be. Just this life. It can take a toll on you, and the longer you live, kind of the more you see, and the darker things you see. But there's a bright side too. There's a countervailing force.
Absolutely.
And so the doot, although it's kind of silly and absent-minded, is sort of
the counterweight.
It's the counterweight to that. It's kind of like keep it light. It's just like we're just going to keep singing and keep moving, even though it can be real bad.
I like it.
I feel like the music comes across to me. Anyway.
Cool.
Yep.
Thank you. That's great.
All right, we're listening to music from OK Samaritan this afternoon. You're listening to it here on Open Mic Radio. It's KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. We're streaming on the web at kopn.org. Check out the podcast at mikehagan.com. You can check out this show and all the other awesome bands and musicians that we've had on the program over the years, and there's been some really good ones. And glad to be able to do it, and I hope you're enjoying the show today. The numbers here, 443-8255 and 443-7380 if you'd like to give us a call. That's area code 573. And, just chatting with the guys this afternoon. Cool stuff happening with the band, and you guys have a really interesting background. I was talking with the guys during the break there about promoting your music, about how much effort you put into trying to get it in other people's hands and trying to make it big or something like that. And can you talk about that a little bit, about how you see your what do you feel about that kind of stuff?
I don't know about Noel so much because we've only known him for a few years, but when me and Kyle and Devin were doing the We Live in Public thing back around 2013-14, I'd say that's when we were really we sort of thought there was still a chance. It's like if we work hard enough and if we get a little bit lucky, it's doable. And I think that's true to an extent for anybody who's
it's sort of always
got the
true.
guts. And so we gave it a good shot, and just like we were saying in the break, sort of life got in the way. People started to get pulled in different directions, personal stuff, professional stuff. And so we kind of dissolved there for a few years. And during that time, that's when I think Devin got married. That's when I got married. And I've got 3 girls as well. So I started having my daughters. And
wow, you got your hands full.
Yeah.
I have 2 sons. How old are your girls?
I've got one that's 4, one that's about to be 2, and then one that is due on the 22nd.
Wow,
of
young.
December.
Okay,
Yeah.
Mine are 18 and 15. So you got a little ways to go there, but it's an adventure for sure.
It is, yeah.
And Kurt has a daughter, about 8 or 9 years old, I think. Lovely young lady. And it's an adventure for sure, and uncharted waters every day.
It's a blast.
It is. It is great. I have great. I'm fortunately to have 2 reasonably well-adjusted, decent young men, and I love them, and I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity to watch them do their thing, and it's a scary thing too, though. It's scary though too, because the darkness of the world. There are potholes and booby traps everywhere, and it's a rough thing to be a kid. I think it's tougher than when I was younger. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we see it that way, but gosh, it seems like a lot of pressure on some of the younger kids.
It is, and they're going to have to do it on their own too. There's like nothing you can do.
No, you got to.
You just got to try to make them tough. That's what I've been focusing on anyway. That's right. My sort of strategy so far, I guess. Is
Are the girls musically inclined?
Yeah, they are.
Dad showing them.
Yeah,
a little bit on the guitar.
A little bit on the guitar. Yeah.
They all like the guitar. They got other instruments.
They're 4.
Yeah, they play.
I tell you what, you start them young. That's okay.
Yeah,
absolutely right.
Tell right.
Yeah.
I was tapping my toes at 6 months.
All right. Well,
that was before I was born.
At 3 months. Yeah. All right. Well, we got time for some more music here, and does the birth of your girls having children, did that affect any of your songwriting?
I don't, probably subconsciously.
Yeah, but not like outright.
Not
like writing songs about
I haven't
the children.
written songs about them. No,
Right.
no. Part of the ethos of this band, at least in my mind, is like I really didn't want to get in a situation where we came across ever as taking ourselves particularly seriously, So even in the songs,
Well, the name lends itself to that.
Like this is mostly to go back to sort of trying hard. Earlier we were talking about me and Kurt were talking about this during the break. This band, when we got it together, it was sort of explicitly, we're not trying to make it. We're just trying to have fun and make the best music we can make and enjoy it. And so that's what it's been, and it's been working out. It's been really fun.
Awesome. All right, so we know you're all busy and have individual lives as well. How often do you practice? Is it regimented? Do you do it every Tuesday, or is it just whenever we get a chance to get together? Or?
We're pretty consistent about it every week, but we also are pretty flexible, I guess, too. So I guess those two things are completely opposite. But if we have something coming up, we're and that's kind of side note with the We Live in Public thing he's talked about. One of our kind of, I don't know if it's a strength or a weakness, but we over-rehearse. Like, we would rehearse, 4 times a week. And although we probably needed it then, because we sang a lot of harmonies, I think another, we talk about the ethos of this band, we try to let it be a little bit more organic and not free, not like, we want to make mistakes, but we don't want to overkill ourselves, basically.
Yeah, all right. Interesting. Okay. What about... instrumentation. I sometimes people send me notes and they say, ask them what kind of guitars they play. They want to know a little bit more about equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So a little bit about your favorite stuff that you like to play.
Yeah, I've got a Fender American Strat that I've been playing for 10 years now, and it's basically the only guitar I have anymore. I play through a Fender Deluxe. We're kind of a Fender-y band, although
Fender bass as well.
Yeah, it's Fenders all the way down.
And
not for Devin though.
Pedals and all that, or
just basic stuff for me. Phaser and a delay. That's about it. Distortion. Well, just the channel selector.
Kyle, before you slide that mic over, bass players generally don't have a lot of effects, but sometimes you do a little. Do you have a? Tell me a little bit about your setup.
Just a little. It's pretty straightforward. I've got a 5-string American jazz bass, and just cranked wide open because I'm not really a tone chaser necessarily in the way which really because I just don't know. Like, there are some guys that are really intent on their tone and how everything comes across and what frequencies to have in and out, and it's not something I've ever really applied myself to. So it's just kind of wide open down the middle. It sounds like a bass, and I'm happy. So that's kind of I've got a 2-point checklist at any point is does it make noise and does it sound bad? And
So
if the answers are consecutively yes and no, then we're
you're good
cool.
to go.
Yeah.
All right, Devin. How about you? Let's talk a little bit about
what do you play?
your setup and your equipment you like.
So I play a PRS.
Paul Reed Smith.
Yeah, I made fun of people who played PRSs for years and years and years. Well, my background with them from my age was I saw Mark Tremonti from Creed with his PRS line. So all the butt rockers of the late 90s and early 2000s.
I was wondering if the word butt rock was going to come out or not. It did.
And so that's what I associated with it. Well, then I played a Mexican Fender for years, a Mexican Tele for years, and then it got stolen a few years ago from our storage unit that we kept. And so then I was like, well, I need to buy a proper guitar that's not a Mexican. Nothing against that guitar; it's a perfectly good guitar, but so I went and bought this. Now I play that, and sometimes I play a little Strat copy or kind of a, what do you call them?
Parts caster or something like that?
Yeah.
Where you kind of build it yourself.
Yeah.
So when you're doing
Those are
live
cool,
gigs,
actually.
You kind of bounce between the two guitars. You have them both
Yeah,
on
sometimes
stage,
if there's a
and,
tuning difference between them, I'll keep it, or
That was my next
keep
question.
it backup for
Songs or
string breaks, that kind of thing. But
Okay.
And typically, standard tuning, or do you have different tunings for different songs? You do a lot of crazy things.
we
or are they
only do
much
standard, pretty much.
standard?
A couple covers. We've done some kind of more cover heavy shows, and those kinds we have a few covers that have some drop D, and that's about it.
Right.
Nothing
So what are
crazy.
the covers you tend to cover?
We try to not do low hanging fruit covers. That's kind of our
do something unique if nothing else, right?
And so the problem is that if someone books us for a 2-hour gig to play covers, they don't know any of the covers, and so they don't know what they're getting into. But.
Well, we also decided that we weren't going to really play those kind of gigs. That was another thing we did back in the day. When we would take any money gig, you'd play for 3 hours at a winery.
Right.
You know, we're just like, that's a slog, man. You know, we're not going to do that.
No,
So,
it's not fun.
We have a little bit, but not near. Yeah, not.
I was going to say
near,
we've slipped up on that, or
yeah, a little bit.
definitely played a few
but
of those.
mostly playing for friends. You know, it's like our friend wants to book us at the thing, so we do it.
Sure.
You know, it's not like we're calling up places. You know, let us play.
Noel,
Let's play your wedding.
Yeah.
what kind of drum kit, or do you have? Do you have a bunch
Yeah,
of
I have a
equipment?
Gretsch Catalina maple kit, but I'm sort of from the Kyle Day school of low maintenance. I don't really know very much about gear. The first thing I did after Will and I finishing my basement was went and got that drum kit, and it's been a great kit to have. Yeah.
And it's the same one that you play if you go out and play. You pack that up and take it with you.
It's the second drum set I've ever owned. The first one was one I got when I was 13 years old, and so yeah, I don't have a whole lot of experience, shopping around for different kits. And I went over to Access Percussion, Charlie's shop. Shout out to local business.
Absolutely.
And he set me up real nice. Yep.
Very good. Okay, we are just about top of the hour here, close enough. I'm going to tell you that it's Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. Streaming, kopn.org. We're glad you're with us this afternoon. Hope you're digging it. Getting kind of dark early now. We had to change the clocks a week or so ago, and I don't mind getting up when it's light. I like getting up when the sun's up. I hate getting up in the dark.
It's a little easy.
But I don't like it being dark at 5:30 at night, so I guess it's just the way it goes,
That's the way it goes. Can I say hello to Overton and to Bunston?
Yes, you can. Overton,
Hello.
Bunston. I'll say hi to
Let's not
Roachport
forget Paris,
and Moberly. And
There's a Paris
I got to say hi to
Moberly,
Durnley
you know
up
that?
there on the cliff. Hi, Dave.
Durnley, hey Dave.
Yeah, Dave says hi.
Hey, Dave.
And- all right, so let's play another song, and then we'll come back and let's take a look at what's happening around town, and we'll see if there's any good music or fun things to be
Sounds
had
like
this
playing.
evening. Okay. All right, we've got.
How about Stand Down?
Stand Down. Noel's reading my mind there. Tell me about Stand Down.
This is another Devin song. Kind of brought in most of the way there. Cynthy.
Okay, yeah.
You talk about it.
Well, so we have a song called "Stand Down" and a song called "Stand Up," and I think I wrote most of both of those songs, and I never know which one is which whenever they call it out. So, "Stand Down" is the chimier one.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay.
All right, Stand Down is the song you're going to hear in a
What do you
second.
do first? You go up or down?
Up, down.
Usually-
you just
usually
play them,
up
you just
and
repeat
then
them
down.
over and over again. Yeah. So, all right, this is another one from OK Samaritan. Hey, contact information. If people want to find out about you, or you're on the web, you're on Facebook, you're Instagram, what do you got?
We got a Facebook. It's the number 0 and then the letter K Samaritan as the URL.
Okay.
Because I think the other one, the real letter O, was taken.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, but I don't think people type Facebook URLs directly, and they probably search from within Facebook. But anyway, yeah, we have a Facebook page.
Okay.
We have a Spotify account as well.
Right.
That's where most of our music lives. And then a YouTube channel. And then if you want to email us, it's the letter OK Samaritan Band @gmail.com.
All right, OK Samaritan Band @gmail.com. You can also find them on Spotify. What about Bandcamp? You got a page on Bandcamp?
No Bandcamp.
No. Okay. Facebook, or find them otherwise, but easy enough. OK Samaritan out there on the web. Okay. Okay. Samaritan. Okay.
Okay.
All right. This one is Stand Down. Yeah, not Stand Up. Stand Down. Back at you in a few minutes. Here, it's Mike, Open Mic Radio, KOPN. right, great stuff there. That one's called Stand Down. Real nice stuff from our guests this afternoon. They're called OK Samaritan. You can find them out and about. Hopefully they'll be playing some live shows maybe later this year or early next or whenever. I'm sure you do have plans at some time to get back out and play some shows whenever that's available, right?
Certainly. Yeah.
Okay, great. How about... we talked a little bit about recording, but do you have material that you're working on that you want to... You said, I guess, you were hoping to get back to Will's maybe in the next... Maybe by springtime or something like that?
That's kind of our immediate goal right now. Is we're just working on writing and kind of solidifying a couple 3 songs that we're pretty close on. So,
all right, cool. Hi, Deb. Hi, baby.
Hi.
What are you doing?
Is it going right now?
Yeah, we're on the air. Yeah.
Just come to say
Come on in.
Oh,
Say
all
hello.
You
right.
guys sound great.
Thank you.
Yeah,
All right. That's my love, Debbie. Just walked in to say hi. All right.
So the synths on that. I got a question.
Go for it. Yeah, here, take the mic.
So the synthesizer on there. You guys got some Devo, some little Devo influence.
Funny you say
there,
Devo.
right?
We do a Devo cover.
I am hearing some Devo there. Hey, and Devolution is real, by the way.
Is it? It's also his nickname.
know
Devin's
that,
nickname is
Oh,
Devo.
that's great.
Yeah.
That makes great
And that
sense.
was your song.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
that
never would have.
intentional,
No, I
or-
never. I don't actively listen to Devo. Honestly, I don't mean to burst your bubble, but
All right, so what's the Devo cover that you do once in a while, though?
We play a song called Blockhead.
Oh, I was going to say, it's not Whip It.
It's not Whip It.
Right, yeah. Blockhead. I don't know if I know that one. We'll have
It's
to check
pretty
that one out.
silly.
Yeah.
it's great.
It's got a weird little time signature. It took us a while to lock it in, but after we locked it in, it's turned into a really fun one to play.
Fun one. That's cool.
Well, I appreciate it. I think we all need some more Devo in our lives.
All right. Let's see what's happening around town here. How about that? You guys feel free to chime in. Because a lot of times I'll hear bands and names of people and have no idea what their angle is. And a lot of times the people are on the other side of the table here from me kind of know more than I do.
Roger that.
Anyway, the Blue Note tonight, Ginger Billy. This is comedy tonight at the Blue Note. And all I know is a guy with a lot of red hair, and he looks kind of buff, and he's half naked on stage. That's the picture that I'm looking at. So tonight, Ginger Billy, the Como Comedy Club, happening at the Blue Note. Nothing at the Note tomorrow. Next Friday, the Dope Ass Sneakers.
Yeah.
Dope Ass Sneakers Friday night at the Blue Note, and then Saturday the Last Waltz, which is something that have you been involved in that, Kyle? I feel like I've seen you on stage maybe with that.
Not personally, I don't think.
No?
You don't think?
I could have swore you played on the Last Waltz. I guess I'm wrong.
Well, they've
No,
done it for
I mean,
years.
I was
you know?
I was there. Molly plays
Yeah,
at that, or she used to at a time when Sean Cannon was doing it.
Sean, of course, from
St. Louis, yeah,
these days, and he's
with
got a
the
couple
Voodoo
different
Players.
projects.
I think he just had a show last night as a Springsteen.
Oh yeah, they
Voodoo
did like a
Players thing at the Note.
yeah. They got
but
his
yeah.
band Stickley too. What is it? Joe Stickley's Blueprint.
Yes,
He's involved in some cool stuff. Sean's been a great musical sort of influence
Yeah.
around here for a long time.
for sure.
Yeah.
And so I may have ended up on stage after at some point on the Last Waltz.
Right.
But
Well, that's a cool thing that they do pretty
Yeah.
much every
Oh,
year
yeah, it's great.
down there at the Blue Note. And of course, the Last Waltz is the production of the band from, I don't know, mid 70s, early 70s.
yeah, directed by Scorsese.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's just I love the program. It's great, and
Always get a
looking
cool
forward to it this
mishmash
year.
of all kinds of great musicians that are up there doing it together.
Yeah.
For sure, yeah. The folks they have are always do their best to play their part and to do an homage. It's going to be because it's the Fried Crawdaddies are the backing band,
the
correct?
primary band, yeah.
So
And of
it's
course,
gonna
they
be
lost Alan.
sad this year.
You know,
Yeah, that's. I'm certainly going to try to keep him in my thoughts, and that's. That was a big loss for the community, and as a fellow bass player,
Absolutely.
I always really respected and looked up to Alan and really appreciated the way he went about his business.
Yeah, he was a really good man. He was a great bass player, but he's a really cool guy as well.
Yes.
And had a lot of friends, for sure. And I think when he passed it, I mean, everybody felt it. There's still are, for sure. So anyway, for Alan, the Last Waltz coming up next Saturday, the 27th, okay? That's at the Blue Note. Rose Music Hall. What's Rose got going tonight? The Collegiate Shag Brass Band. with Barely Covered. Once again, not too familiar, but
theme this evening.
Yes. So Collegiate Shag Brass Band with Barely Covered tonight at Rose. If you know anything about that, give us a call here and bring us up to snuff. All right. The show on Monday is canceled. They were called Doll Skin. Strange. Doll Skin canceled. Bummy and Manny Petty and D Rona, or Dorona. It's Drona. These are some younger band mates from, I think, Hickman, but I think it's pronounced Dorona, like it's a play on coronavirus. Okay. I got Dorona. But it's yeah, exactly. Right? My Dorona. So anyway, Bummy, who is a young man named Thompson. I forget his first name, but he sent me some music. Maybe we'll get him on the program here. But anyway, that's happening next Friday. Bummy, Manny Petty, and Dorona. And then we got some the Metal Meltdown next Saturday at Rose with Storm Ruler, The Summoning, and The Lick. You gotta love the metal band
metal
names.
Names are the
They're
best.
just the greatest, right? Okay, you just what do you got?
We got the Ruby Lane Band tonight at the Dive Bar starting at 8 o'clock.
Dive Bar Como, doing cool stuff. I don't know if you guys have been down there or seen.
Oh yeah,
really out of nowhere, a cool place for live music. That they made some nice changes during the pandemic time and turned their volleyball courts that weren't being used much into a really nice big patio and a great place for live music.
Yeah,
so,
And there's
lovely
no
space.
cover charge there.
no cover charge as well.
cover.
And they have music inside as well, but it's really nice outside when they got that going. So.
Yeah, and just that whole place, their whole vibe is great, and the food is just phenomenal.
How about that? I've heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, it's a really kind of you might not expect it necessarily, but yeah, they've got a really wonderful establishment going and a good thing happening there.
All right, check it out. Dive Bar tonight, the Ruby Lane Band, and they're doing it every weekend. They've got music usually Friday and Saturday night.
Get out and support live music, people.
That's what we like. And if you are a musician and you've got some stuff that you want to share with other people, get it in my hands, and we'll get you here on the program, just like we did with the gentleman with us this afternoon, okay? The only way we do it is if we get in touch with each other, okay? So you can find me on Instagram as well. And again, the website is MikeHagan.com and KOPN and all that stuff. But I'm easy to find. You can even come down here. Just walk down Broadway and come up the stairs and drop in line. Just write a note, put it in my mailbox, and you can come check out KOPN. Before we leave this location, the legendary KOPN location on Broadway here, 915 East Broadway. We've been here for many, many years. 1973, I guess, is when this station first started broadcasting. We're approaching our 50th year anniversary. It'll be 49 coming up here, and the station is relocating. I don't know the exact address, but I know it's very close to the the Westlake Hardware that's on Worley, up there by Stadium.
And there's actually more accessibility there, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as much as I love this building, it is really difficult for people to get in and out of. Even if you're just coming and going from this place, the stairs are kind of treacherous out back, and
You always have to help me up the stairs.
they're really steep out in front. Well, when we have musicians come, it's tough to have guys carrying guitars and amps and drum kits up here and all that stuff. So it'll be real nice, and it'll be accessible to everyone. No problem getting in and out of the new place. I'm really happy about that. KOPN in my head always stands for open. Open. It's open to everybody, and I want that to be the case down there at the new facility, and I'm sure that it will be. And it always has been up here, but it is a little bit difficult for some people to get up here. So real cool stuff happening for KOPN and for our listeners and all of you out there. We sure appreciate it. We can't survive without you. KOPN is community sponsored. We survive because you guys help us out, and we're volunteer operated. We have very few paid staff here, actually, only a couple, 3 people that are actually paid here at KOPN, and over 100 volunteers that do all kinds of different things. Not everybody's on the air. There are a lot of things that happen in the background there that keep the station on the air, including wonderful engineering crew that does it all pro bono. I could talk for a long time about it. We actually have a pledge drive coming up. I don't even know when, but it's pretty soon. So, think about that.
People can donate now.
You can always donate online securely on the website. Actually, if you choose to, beat the rush. All right.
That's right.
And
now is the time for giving.
yeah, so you can always
Thanks for
do
the
that.
giving, people.
We do appreciate it. So anyway, enough about that. Let's play another song after we say what's happening at Cooper's, because we've got. Will you be performing as well?
I will be.
Kyle, tomorrow.
I will be attending.
Attending.
Yes.
Okay, so the Lacewings will be playing at Cooper's Landing tomorrow afternoon. I guess that's 2 to 5.
2 to 5, yes, sir. That is correct.
Okay. For those unfamiliar, let's. Why don't you, Kyle, tell us a little bit about the Lacewings?
They are two just incredibly talented women, and I'm a little biased with one of them.
Just a little.
The unmatched Molly Healy, who I've had the pleasure of knowing for. We started playing together in a band in
No pun intended.
2012, and so yeah, and we've been pretty much together as well outside of music since then. But that that you don't have to. You don't need my opinion. You just have to watch her play once, and it'll seal the deal for you.
I remember I saw Molly the first time I saw her, I think, was at the Blue Fugue years ago, playing at an open mic or something. I forget who she was playing with, and all of us were like, "Damn, who's the girl on the fiddle? That was badass." Yeah,
which is, and in a fun way, is like.
And that was a long time ago. I mean, she was good back then, and she's remarkably skilled now.
Well, I mean, she just showed up that way, I think, to the planet.
Yeah.
She's got has a very talented family as well. But yeah, she dedicates a lot of time and energy and heart and soul into her projects, and it shows. And the Lacewings is one. They like to call it witchy folk. And it's her and another very talented musician and vocalist, Liz Carney, both from Springfield, Missouri.
Right.
And so they'll be up, sharing their talents and voices and ability on the river tomorrow.
Right on. Okay, Cooper's Landing tomorrow, 2 to 5. Catch the Lacewings, Molly and
Liz.
And Liz. That is 2 to 5, and yeah, great stuff from the Lacewings. And I'm hoping to get Molly here in the studio. I mentioned that to you guys. Her and I kind of chat on Instagram now and again, and I keep saying whenever you get a chance, come down and do something. I know she doesn't come up here to Columbia that frequently. Or
I mean, yeah, she's just always busy. She played 2 gigs yesterday and then played 2 today, and then she'll be in Cooper's tomorrow. And
hard working.
Yeah.
Get down there, folks.
Yep, check it out tomorrow down by the river. You
I'll
won't have
another tune from OK Samaritan.
Okay. All right, what are we going to do, Noel? You're the band man, the leader of the band tonight, huh?
We just stood down so we could stand up now.
Let's stand up. We just stood down. We're going to stand up. It's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio. It's KOPN Columbia, 89.5 FM. This is once again OK Samaritan with a song called Stand Up.
Stand up and leave. break out.
All right, who wrote the lyrics to that one? I gotta know.
That was Devin.
Yeah.
The whole song?
Yeah, I think pretty much.
Yeah, I guess so.
I love it. Excellent.
Yep. Yeah, he's got some fun stuff.
Yeah, that's a fun one for sure. Get your foot tapping on that stuff. Straight ahead rock and roll. I love it, you guys. Really cool and very well done. Talented playing and really cool songs. I like what you guys are doing a lot. I understand why people are saying check out OK Samaritan out there. So
Thank you. A lot of credit goes to Will Reeves as well for making us sound good.
yeah,
in
he
the
can
studio.
make stuff sound good for sure. But
He
you got
put up with us for many hours in that studio.
You want to know something though? Will was here one time when Will was here talking with me about stuff, and you know he's a master of humility as well. But also he said, you know, it still takes a good song. You still got to have something good to start with, or potentially good, you know. And so I think you guys have that figured out.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, those
and compliments from Will as well carry a lot more weight because he hears a lot of songs.
Oh, you bet.
He gets a lot of traffic in and out of that studio.
Yeah.
So,
Can you imagine? Sometimes, I mean, and sometimes you hear stuff that I'm sure you're like, oh, you know, I mean,
He's got to have a great poker face.
you would have to,
Yeah.
right?
He does. I mean, yeah, I know. I've played some rank things so that he's just walked right through it. You know, just like, no, man. I think you got a better one in you. You know, just like, yeah, that was a pretty solid take. Let's try that again.
Let's try another one. Yeah,
You know,
Nice.
yeah. Which, like, on the inside, you know, he's probably just like, why?
I'd like to read his memoir. You know,
probably keeps a really thorough log of his daily experiences that someday are going to go public and embarrass a lot of people.
hopefully not. Of course, it would really even the playing field because there's been a lot of people through that place.
It's true.
So, all right, let's see. What else do we have to talk about here? We haven't really talked about the Mid-Missouri music scene in general, just what it's like to be a part of the music scene here in Mid-Missouri. I'm gonna have all of you kind of chime in on that.
I think it's great. I'm having trouble
Oh,
hearing
sorry.
myself. Oh, there we are. Cool. Yeah, I mean, we've been lucky enough to be a part of the Mid-Missouri music scene for, like we said earlier, over 10 years now. And it's friendly, and there's always something new developing. There's a lot of good places to play. I don't know. I mean, I feel real fortunate to be here.
Yeah, I mean, and it's a zero beef environment for the most part. Like,
What do you mean by that?
There's just not. It doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of drama between.
Not a lot of.
Yeah, that, like, everybody gets along and understands that it's you know, that it takes everybody, and it takes all, you know, there aren't any like genre wars or you know, people that are just, you know, that guy, that sort of thing just doesn't seem to happen, at least in my experience. Everybody is just super supportive and friendly and helpful.
And there's a little something for everyone. I think there's a lot of different stuff going on in this town. Sometimes I haven't done it since COVID, but I would just randomly drop into Rose on a random night. Didn't know
Just
any
see
of the
what was
bands.
happening there.
Holy crap! There's a local band that's playing this kind of music. I have no idea. So
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of diversity in this music scene as well.
Devin?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I kind of got a little off track in what I was thinking there, because you were saying when you know, during COVID and going out to Rose and stuff, and I recently had a child back in May during COVID, and so that obviously
Congratulations.
getting ready to go, you're trying to go out to shows is, is a difficult thing, and so it's always nice that whenever I've been kind of away from it, that I know it's still going. I can still see that it's and I know COVID took a toll on that, obviously, but there were several virtual events people had. There were all sorts of stuff that people did try to do throughout that to keep it going, so that's really, really cool. But
one of the things I think that you all hit on is the sort of camaraderie and everybody kind of supporting other musicians, whether they're directly related to them or not. I think one of the things that I've noticed over the years is when music scenes sort of blow up in particular places like Austin or Charlotte or Seattle or whatever it might be, I think that is certainly one of the things that they all have in common, is that there seems to be a real connected family sort of thing about many of the local bands, and they really mix and match, and you never know who's going to be playing with who, and lots of friendships that cross over different genres and different bands, and I think that's really key to actually getting a vibrant, healthy, exciting music scene or art scene in general,
And to that point, there's a lot of cross-pollination that goes on between bands. Like, Devin and Kyle are in another band together. Jaeson used to play in that band. Well, I play in a couple other bands.
That's on my list here, is other projects that you guys are involved in. But that's exactly right. And we'll start with you, Noel, because of course, You've had the projects in the past with the Ridge Runners and with the Furs. I'll ask you, are the Royal Furs still going to be a thing? Because Ruth is back.
Ruth is back. The Royal Furs are still a thing. Okay. We still get together down in my basement these days. And
that's the place down there, I guess.
That's right. That's right. It's a home base for a few different groups of people.
Okay.
But yeah, the Royal Furs are still a thing. Not playing shows, obviously, right now. But
right.
Yeah. Band still exists, and
awesome.
We're still working on some new material.
What else are you involved? Are you involved with any other projects?
That's really Royal Furs and OK Samaritan are the two active projects I'm in. Ridge Runners are basically dormant.
Yeah, Tim's gone.
Tim moved away. Yeah. We were supposed to do a little reunion show at Cooper's a couple months ago, and
that was a heartbreaker, I guess.
Yeah, it was last minute COVID restriction there. We ended up playing as a trio with Justin Hickerson, Josh Wrong, and myself, playing some of Justin's songs under the moniker.
That's still a lot of fun.
Soul Mama. Yeah, for sure. Sure.
In fact, Justin played. He's been in here a number of times with me. He's a close friend of mine, but he came out to my place, and I had a little get together about a month ago, and Johnny Fox or Fox Deluxe, I guess, and Justin played a set. Bart Bean played a set,
oh, nice.
And this guy named Andrew Ryan, who's a friend of mine from St. Louis, who's a real good singer-songwriter, was here in town, and I always say it, but most people know Justin as a drummer because he plays with a lot of different projects around town on Skins. But he's a really talented songwriter, and he's a decent guitar player, and got a cool, interesting voice. And I love watching his singer-songwriter material. It was awesome.
Yeah, no, definitely a lot of fun to play with him as a drummer. Play a fellow drummer's songs that he has written was fun, and then vice versa. In the Ridge Runners, I would get up there and play guitar, and he would drum on my songs. And I felt like we had a special sort of way that we would communicate.
That was such a cool gang, the Ridge Runners, just because you guys could mix up the instruments so much. It was really neat to see everybody moving around, playing different things. That was cool.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
I wish the best to Tim, too. I miss him. He's a great guy. Speaking of the Last Waltz, Tim did a super cool version of a Neil Young song. Maybe Needle and the Damage Done, maybe, or I forget, but it was fantastic.
At the Last Waltz?
At the Last Waltz.
Helpless, right?
Helpless is what it was. Yes, absolutely great.
Yeah, so Tim will be doing Neil Young, and then Justin will be doing Bob Dylan. And then Ruth, who's in the Royal Furs with me and Mike Danger and Josh Wrong.
Josh, right.
She's also doing a part in that.
Yeah, another incredibly talented young lady around town here. So I'm glad that her and Jeff came back from New York. So, all right, Devin, other projects? Are you involved in other things as well?
Kyle and I are in another band called Decadent Nation as well.
You guys have been around forever.
We weren't in the band forever. The band has been around forever. Yeah.
Okay, what's the current makeup of Decadent Nation?
So he's on bass and I'm on guitar, and then there's Colin Laveau as the lead singer front man, and then Zach Blomberg is the drummer.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We know that Kyle's doing that project that you just mentioned, as well as playing with Molly at times.
Yeah.
And then OK Samaritan. Those are your three, is that right?
Yeah, it's mostly it's all three. I guess are they're all in the mix with Samaritan, and then the Molly Healy String Project is we have a lot of fun with that. Shameless plug: we have a show at Rose in December.
Absolutely.
On the 16th, it's a Thursday. It's an early show, and it's just us. So we're gonna stretch our legs and get a little strange on a Thursday evening, and you can be home before 10 o'clock.
Do you play electric bass? Do you play stand-up bass with Molly, or what sort of an instrument do you play with Molly?
Both. It depends on what kind of song she's writing, and what the other instrumentation kind of dictates which will fit better. And that's a whole lot of fun to do that, and she's a looping artist and plays she plays cello and guitar and violin. All almost at the same time,
Right.
And so it gets some really cool soundscapes, and it's just
that's
a good time.
awesome.
Yeah, you got Danny Carroll in there playing drums.
Yeah,
Danny Carroll, him and Sean used to play together.
Yes.
They probably still do. I don't know. Is Danny still playing with Sean?
Yeah, he plays with the Voodoo Players every now and then.
Yeah,
but
great drummer, really good drummer.
And also Will Reeves was in that band, Bachman's Youth.
That's right. That's right.
Just super, and Andrew Weir on keys.
Uh-huh.
And then the Hypnax, of course.
The Hypnax, yes.
I ran into Stephen Varner last night. Steve? He plays drums with Noah Earl a lot of the time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Another great local cat who's good on the drums. We got a lot of good drummers around here. Is that rare or not? Everyone's always looking for a drummer, it seems like.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's between folks like Noel and the unmatched Phil Sean.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Denny, and just you're always going to forget people, so I'm going to stop there.
Yeah.
That's why I didn't start. It's like Kyle can take this one.
Yeah, no, if you weren't mentioned, we still love you.
What about
you got Zach Harrison on guitar in that band too, in the string.
Yeah.
another great
Pound for pound, a lot of talent in that band.
Yeah.
For sure. All right, Jace, other projects? Or
we did the We Live in Public thing for a long time, and then right now this is it for me. Just OK Samaritan.
do any of you ever do any guests? Does anybody ever call you and say, "Hey, will you come and play drums for me on a track, or will you come and play bass for me on something, or can you sit in with me and work out something, or do you collaborate with other artists like that?"
It's happened once or twice,
I recorded a few songs for Jeff Mueller. I think he might have played them on your air.
Oh, for
with John Galbraith and myself, we sort of recorded in our respective areas and pieced it all together. But
John's another outstanding guitar player. He's a remarkably skilled dude. Yeah. Great guy too. And talk about busy. He's in so many different projects. I can't. I can barely keep him straight. So, yeah. All right. Very cool. Anybody that you'd like to play with? I mean, you have say, man, I'd really like to do a song with so and so or anything like that. I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, we're always looking for a good keyboard player.
So we can actually put some serious synth on our album and not worry about recreating it live.
Yeah, right.
This is our classified ad for a keyboard player out there.
Yeah. No, and not to be cheesy about it, but I really do feel like I'm in my favorite bands in town.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I used to watch the Royal Furs from afar and say, I love Diggy, but if anything ever happens to Diggy, or if he ever leaves that band, I want to be first in line to be the next drummer.
And that's exactly it
panned out.
The way it panned out.
Yeah.
And and even Joel was, we got Noel and Joel, but Diggy was so thrilled that you took over that spot. I know. I've talked to him about it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, we haven't talked about it, so I'm glad.
No, he's a good dude. He was too busy. He's always got a zillion things going. That wasn't his primary.
Right.
Know. So
he laid a great foundation. I love playing those songs, all those older songs that he played on the album that they recorded.
Yeah.
It's so much fun to play those
and
songs.
Mike Martin, you got Danger on the guitar, who's real unique style.
I remember seeing them back when they were Lunar Mansion before Ruth joined it.
Yeah,
and
with Brandon was singing. Yeah,
and they killed it. And I remember at the time Mike was playing a little tiny practice amp, and at the Blue Note stage it looked even tinier because it was the Blue Note, and he had it just propped on a chair and it was mic'd, and they sounded freaking huge. It was killer. I was so jealous because I had this giant 100-pound Fender Twin, and I was like, well, crap, I'm getting blown away right now by this little tiny practice amp.
Yeah, well, no, that's really cool that the Furs are still doing it. So I'll look forward to seeing what you guys are up to coming up here. Hopefully, spring and summer bring some good times and some live music. Kind of got a taste of it this year, but not like we're used to, I guess. So hopefully we can keep it moving in the right direction.
Hopefully.
Speaking of music, we got time for a couple more tracks from OK Samaritan.
You're right. It's time. You're right.
Let's do it.
Okay, we've got 3 left here. We're going to finish with one called Tom's. So we've got Another Room and Wobble Top. Which one do you want to hear?
Let's do Another Room.
Another Room. Okay, once again, OK Samaritan. You listen to it, Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We'll be back at you in a few minutes. We got a few minutes left with the guys here, and then we're going to say goodbye and hello to Rashumba and the reggae party.
Yeah, man.
You're going to love it. And pop open a Red Stripe and roll yourself a fatty and enjoy the tunes of Rashumba and a reggae party. Coming up in just a little bit here. Meantime, OK Samaritan. This is Another Room. Right on. Another one there from OK Samaritan. Great stuff, you guys. Awesome, awesome stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Very cool. That one's called Another Room. All right, give me the background.
That was one of the few ones, not few, but that was one of the ones where we actually wrote that one completely organically together. Like we just started. The intro you had. Sorry, did you write that? Yeah.
Like,
Believe it or not, that intro was a guitar riff written by the drummer of this band.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, got to give Noel credit for that one then. All right, and then the
rest of it was magic. Yeah.
Would it be like? I mean, it's just like improv. You start off. Like
I think literally we. I don't think we initially had the intro as part of it. I think we tagged that on later, but we just started jamming, and that kind of keyboard sound, that like almost like a hip hop stab there. That bing bing. It's just a whammy pedal play on a guitar with delay, and so I think I just started doing that, and then it just kind of came together from there. It's
All right. All right, we talked about plans for the winter. We're thinking about recording in the next few months. COVID. I mean, that was a year and a half out of our lives and still sort of ongoing. How did you guys manage to stay together as a band and to practice and how? Tell me how you handled COVID and did anything good come out of it?
We took a small hiatus there especially right around the holidays of last year. There was when it really got peaked out there. We didn't get together for a while there, but we did. I mean, there's several, like we mentioned before, that we have several things that are half baked right now that did come directly out of that. So and like myself personally, I caught the like electronic music bug because like a lot of musicians did, we couldn't play out, so we all bought software or whatever if we already have it, and so I've really personally dived really deep into random electronic music, but
really,
yeah.
He's bringing some of that back to us, which is cool.
You mean actually like recording like on like a little like I've got an iPad, for example, and there's like this program, I forget what it's called, but there's drum tracks and a bass track, and you can add little things and change the timing and pretty much build a track.
Well, I recently about a year ago, I got Ableton Live, and
okay.
For some reason, I've got super into like that, like IDM sound, like Boards of Canada, and like I don't want to name drop a bunch of bands, but then I also got really into like dub techno, and that's for some reason like really really repetitive dub techno from the mid '90s, and that's
interesting angle for a rock and roll guitarist.
Yeah. Well, it's like he was talking about the anecdote earlier with like the happy and sad. I think part of it was a response to this like this collective trauma that we were all in, and like here's this nice void of a music that's very repetitive, and let's just kind of go open as much as I can. I don't know if it's
interesting. All right.
That's another good band name.
What's that?
Collective Trauma.
Collective Trauma. That's a good band name. We keep a running list of band names. It's sort of funny, and it's actually quite interesting over time. So, any other comments on COVID? I guess
it sucks.
It sucks, right?
Yeah.
Just make the best of it, right?
It sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I think a lot of bands entered it with really high aspirations for writing material, and I'm not sure how many bands actually hit those high aspirations. But for myself, I spent a lot of time in my basement just playing the drums and working on some chops and, getting ready to play for nobody, because who knew when actually, the bands were going to be out in the world again.
Yeah.
But
I lost 47 pounds.
No kidding.
No.
I'm like, damn, you're great.
No.
Well, Kyle's an outright COVID denier, so
it's pretty explicit. I can't let that stand. It's not true.
Well, it's as real as it is for everybody. It's no matter how you think about it or like it or hate it or think whatever. I mean, it's definitely something that we all have to manage in our lives right now. So, anyway, you guys have done a great job. I like the new songs, or I like the old songs that I'm hearing for the first time for the most part, and looking forward to new material. What did we miss? Anything you want to talk about before we kind of call it quits? We've got a show coming up on January 1st, perhaps here. That would involve KOPN.
No.
We got Lace Wings tomorrow.
It's remote, remember?
Yeah, okay, not here. You're right. Okay, yeah. It would be at the news. I know. Thank you for keeping me in line. It would be at the news station if we can pull that off. If you have anything, if anything comes up, just let me know, and we'll or call me on, and we'll talk about it on Saturday afternoon. We can tell people to come out and see it or whatever. But
cool.
Shout outs or hello to anyone or anything else you want to add before we...
Hi, Mom.
Shout out to our friend Colin Laveau. He's been real generous to us throughout our development. Yeah, the Decadent Nation front man. And
sure.
I think he has a show on KOPN as well. No? KBIA? Yeah. Okay.
Oh, that's all right. Yeah, no, that's all good. Colin's a good vocalist. I've seen him perform many times.
Yeah. So anyway, he's booked us a lot of shows and has been real generous with us. Complimentary. Right. It's been good.
Very good. So, all right. Well, best of luck to you. And we're going to play. We got a couple more here before we go, but we'll hear Wobble Top, and then we'll come back and we'll say goodbye to everyone. All right.
Sounds good.
All right, everybody. It's Mike. You're listening to Open Mic Radio, KOPN Columbia. We've had the gentleman from OK Samaritan in with us for the last hour and a half, having a good time, playing some good music and learning all about this excellent band right here in Columbia, Missouri. Hoping for no new music from them in the next. I'm putting the pressure on him here. Next 6 months or so, something like that, maybe. Live shows, hell yeah, that's what I really need.
I need some live shows from OK Samaritan.
All right, I'm with you on that one. All right, meanwhile, this is Wobble Top. Yeah. All right. Another one there from OK Samaritan. That's called Wobble Top. Rock and roll. I love it, you guys. Totally jamming.
Thanks.
We need to have we got to have this stuff live. I got to see that live. We're gonna have a rock and roll show here pretty soon. All right. OK Samaritan, they've been with us this afternoon. I sure appreciate you guys coming down. Thank you very much. We've got one more song we're going to hear sort of on the way out, and it's a song that I guess has not been released yet. One that people haven't heard?
It's one that is not on the internet yet. Correct.
All right. We got a groundbreaker here, or a scoop, or what do you call it? A debut.
That's right. World debut. Exclusive.
Worldwide premiere.
Worldwide. Hey, and we are worldwide on the internet right now at kopn.org. In fact, if I go to my little map here, of course, we can't tell how many people are listening on the traditional radio, but listening online, I can pull it up, and they're little red dots, and there are a lot of them. They're all over the place, and we've got people in Europe and in Africa and in Asia. So it is a worldwide debut.
Well, grab your tape recorders. Get ready to hit the record button. You can record it right off the internet.
First time
for
ever.
Your boombox.
You guys we should sell it as an NFT. And. Okay, so tell me a little bit about this song, though, because it's a new one and no one's heard it before. So it's called Toms, Thoms, and a little bit more about it before we play it.
This one was another one that actually was completely organic. We just started jamming on it, and I think even the lyrics came through almost exclusively organically, and that was pretty much the song. You'll hear in a minute that that's what it is.
And it's called Toms because the toms on the drum are hit a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's how we came up with the name.
Fair enough. Easy enough.
It's that song where we hit the toms a lot.
What was the full name, Noel?
Yeah, we tried to retcon the name. We retconned the name later to be Thomas the Spank Engine. So.
All right, you guys. Well, we're going to hear that in a couple minutes. We'll let Kurt say goodbye to everyone here, and we'll come back and catch you all next week. We've got Clark Layshock coming back to join me next week. Clark is a very skilled drummer and sort of a loop artist, and he's going to be doing some guitar work as well here. He's kind of keeping it a little bit on the down low, so I'm not sure exactly what he's going to do, but I'm sure it's going to be cool. So come back next week and check us out. Same time, 4 o'clock until 6 here at KOPN. The week after that, we have Elephant Foot. I mentioned those guys a couple weeks ago. We played a song or two for them. They're a new band around town, and they're really good. So we're going to see what they're about.
After tonight, they got some pretty big shoes to fill.
That's right.
So
well, we got
Elephant Foot.
Kyron Penrose on the 18th of December. Oh, we had Big Cat Matt last week, by the way, the Rockabilly Corner. If you like rockabilly music, the second Saturday out of every month, Big Cat Matt takes this time slot and plays the greatest in rockabilly music. Honestly, the kid's like a savant. So if you like that style of music, check it out. That's always the second Saturday of the month with Big Cat Matt and Rockabilly Corner. Like I said, Kyron Penrose coming up. We've got Stedro Pennington, a.k.a. Steady P. He'll be here in January. Molly Healy, hopefully, down the road here sometime. January Lanterns on the 1st of January. They will hopefully be involved in that show I'm trying to put together at the new location. Todd Day Waite will be back with us in a couple months. Don't Mind Dying, and the gang will be up here sometime. We haven't quite put a date on that one, but we're all talking about
BC
it.
in here, hey?
BC and the gang, you got
all
it.
Right.
So anyway, okay, it's been a pleasure, you guys. Take care of yourselves. Once again, thanks to OK Samaritan. Check them out on the web, and if you get a chance to see them live, do it for sure. Hope you all enjoy the rest of the weekend. Be cool to yourselves. Be cool to other people.
Be kind to one another.
Absolutely. And we'll catch you all next week with Clark Layshock.